Hi everyone, and I am finally upgrading my champion to the level 106 traceries. I've decided that it's time for the champion to move towards Mordor, and so it's time for an upgrade of the original legendary items. So I'll just go in the door. It's in Rivendell, as you would probably know. You have to be level 50 or 45 or have done the Moria quest to get in the door. But, okay, so what I currently have is a reshaped Great Axe of the First Age that's not imbued. And now I've been running it around for a little bit, and finally getting to the point where I'm upgrading this character. And there's the First Age Rune, which is unimbued. The Revamp hit just before I decided to imbue these items, so you can see there's not a lot to it. Not a lot to either of them. The DPS is fairly minor, and you can see that I've got essentially level 196 items, which I have crafted for myself. Now, in the upgrade process, what I expect to happen is I've decided that crafting is no longer really viable compared to what you can get from mode of enchantment items. So I'm going to go through a full upgrade. Okay, so champion. The champion itself was using a Great Axe. Great Axe gets the bonus from the dwarves, but it is quite a slow item. Let's see if I can get it. So I'll go through the list till I get to the champions. Champions, hammer, club, axe, Great Axe of Legends. So that's the one. So I have 2,380 ancient scripts. I assume actually the first thing I should do to give myself some idea. So this is the First Stage item. I've got two of them, so I'll appraise the first one, which is the Great Axe. And it gives me 3,600 ancient scripts and a fair number of level 9 106 enchantment runes and some 106 traceries. Okay, I'll claim those, and I'll do the same thing for the rune. So that should be enough, and that should be enough. That will give me some a good amount of stuff. So there's the teal versions of everything, which is nice. Okay, so now I have 10 teals and a whole heap of level 106 enchantment runes to actually go forward. Now the first thing I'm going to do with these, actually I'm going to untrack those. I tend to untrack the things that I've got that I've appraised so that I can see at a glance what I've got left to go on a character. Okay, so let's upgrade the items themselves. Sorry, I didn't buy it. Always the way. Okay, so we want page 3, wasn't it? Page 2. Champion's Great Axe of Legends. Okay, that's the one that I want. Barter for that. You have to actually unequip these to be able to equip the other items. So I'll do that now before I forget. And the other item is the class item, which is the Champion's Rune. You can only run the revamped versions or the non-revamped versions. So as soon as I slot these guys in, I won't be going back. Okay, so there we have it. So first thing I will do, I've now got 9,000, it's about 6,000 ancient scripts to get purples of everything, so I can now do purples of everything, which is good for heading into Mordor. And I'll now reforge this. So the original was 677 DPS, and the reforged version is going to be 1,245. So a nice increase just on that basis. The incoming healing is 4,940 on the original rune, and now with a reforge that is now 24,160. So that again is a very good improvement. Okay, so they have now been reforged. They will not change again till level 121. So these are the items I'm going to be running with for a long time. Now the first things I'll do is I'll go in and I'll look at the Champions traceries. As I said, I've got 10 teals that I can go with, so I can basically go with teals for everything that runs for level 106. Incomparable, I think, is where I want to be. Yep, there's the teals. Okay, so Battle Frenzy cooldown, no, I don't want that, even though Battle Frenzy is useful. At this point I do use it. Blade Wall I definitely use. It's in my routine. And so is Raging Blade, Rend, and Fury of Blades. So I'll pick them out in order. Raging Blade. Raging Blade damage increased by 35%. Yeah, that's something. That's worth it. And the second one will be Rend. So I'm basically just filling in these on the order that I would use them. Rend armor reduction and bleed damage. So that would be my second item in the list of order. The next will be Blade Wall. Blade Wall damage, extra 50%, thank you very much. And Fury of Blades. Fury of Blades damage, an extra 35%. Okay, so they're the first four. Now let's see how many I can slot in. Level 106. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 4 of them done. So I'll just slot those in. This is still not the most convenient way of doing it, but it's what we've got. Okay, and I've got room for one more word of mastery on the weapon. So I think Battle Frenzy cooldown is definitely my go-to. I use it pretty much every time. At the moment I've got a 30-second cooldown, and -20 on that is just going to make it so much easier. Okay, there we go. Okay, now we go for the secondary item, the rune, which also has enough spots for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more items. Now I will look at the things that I've got. The Horn of Gondor is something that I used for stun. Okay, the extra damage and debuff, I don't really need that. The bracing attack, I do need bracing attack. An extra 10% attack heal, not really worth it. The Great Cleave duration. Great Cleave duration of an extra 10 seconds is good. I will take that. I have Blade Storm. Which may not have a... Okay, it doesn't. That's fine. And Fight On, which also may not have a place. So basically I'm filling this out with the Fight On critical chance buff has a 10% Fight On melee critical chance. No, not for a teal. These, if I don't use them on this character, they're bound to account, so I can use them on others. So I'm just looking at what is useful. Exchange of blows. Because I just run this PvE in the environment, I don't need to push it a lot. I'll just take the good advantages. So when I need to run across these, and these are my get out of jail options when I'm in a long battle and I need extra. Fear Nothing cooldown of 5 seconds. That would make a difference. And extra healing, incoming healing. Yeah, I'll probably take that. So as I said, these are the ones that I need occasionally, but when I do need them, yep, they're definitely needed. Okay, so I have very little left to go. I have one more teal, and I'll just have another quick look through all of that. Yep, yep. Devastating Strike Multiplier would be nice if I can't think of anything else. Yep. 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 I changed my mind on that, didn't I? Yeah. Horn of Gondor. It's a thing. Yep, okay, so I'll go with the Horn of Gondor as my last of those. Okay. So they're the masteries. Now we have to look at the others. So we have the Word of Power traceries. Now, this is basically set up as an AoE attack. So area of attack damage and area of attack criticals are fairly straightforward. So let's have a look at the 106 legendary Word of Power. I have 2 words of power on the rune, and I have 1 on the weapon. So I have 3 that I can use. I can no longer use teal. Okay, so I have to drop down to incomparable. I have to drop down to the rares. Okay, that's fine. The criticals would be nice. The area of effect damage, well, that's a given the fact that I'm running a area of attack character. And we'll have a look at what the other 2 can be. Dropping them onto here is the way to get access to it. Target count going up would be good. Don't really need the damage over time. Okay, some blocking would be nice, but I'm not really worried about that at this point. Target count going up would be good. So I think I'll go for target count. And the last one. Now, I don't do very many single target criticals and single target damage. As I said, this is all AoE. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to do what I did for the others, and I'm going to go for the ranged attack extension. The bow itself is my only ranged attack, and it's not that great, but with a 9 meter range extension I get some extra physical mastery. I'm actually going to go for that. I can change it up when the time comes. I could change it up for some area of effect criticals. Critical magnitude. Yeah, look, I really should just go for that. Okay, so I'm actually going to change what I'm going to do. Might as well show you how you do that too. Because I'm an area of effect, I'm actually going to go for the criticals instead. So it just replaces it. Okay, so that's the Word of Power traceries. So we have the heraldic and the crafting. Now there's 1 empty slot there and 1 empty slot there, so I get 2. Again, level 106. And again, I'm going with the rares. Now, what have we got? We've got critical rating, we've got critical rating, finesse, tactical mastery, incoming critical rating, outgoing healing, finesse, parry. I think we're going to end up going with critical rating. It doesn't really matter where it comes from, because I've gone for that extra crit. I'm going to knock myself in for some critical rating perfection. Okay, that's 1. That's 1, and we will place the other one. So, yep, another critical. Thank you very much. Okay, so they're the items. So this is what the original looked like. The original was 677 DPS, the new one's 1200. I had plus 10% area of effect skill damage, so some extra critical multiplier, battle frenzy cooldown, horn damage. So I pretty much got the same things, just that this is a lot more damage. Okay, I still have to do the herald traceries, and 106 again. Not the rare, and I think I'll just go for the lion. There's an offensive and a defensive version of these, and I'm actually using up all my scripts, so I will. You could run solo 3-man instances to get more, but I'll actually appraise that. Get extra ancient scripts and some enchantment runes. Take that off the track. So as I said, this is the way that I've been doing it, but you may need to actually run solo instances and things like that to be able to pick up enough ancient scripts. Fairly shortly, they say they're going to be changing over the enhancement runes, but not these. So you'll still need ancient scripts for these. They can be picked up, as I said, running 3-mans. There are some solos that you can run at solo instances when you're up high enough level 120 or so, I think, and higher. But until then, you really have to go with the uncommon versions and just gradually increase through picking traceries up, random traceries through your questing. Okay, so this is level 300 to 315. It gives me this. So I'm going to start dropping in, so they can go up to 330. So I'm going to start pushing up some items with these extra runes that I picked up. You can slide it across to get it to the max. And I'll just drop all of those in to all of those slots. I want it maxed. I've got the enhancement runes from the appraisal. So if you choose to change these traceries, this part of it will stay. The bonus enhancement rune bonuses will stay. Okay, so that's that. As I said, this is slightly inconvenient, but that's the way it is. Now I was running this champion through Gondor, but with this upgrade of the DPS output, I've decided to fast track straight to Mordor. Now, as I say, I'll just get this done. Fury of Blades. I will have some extras, but you get the idea. I'll do the rest of these offline after this. Okay, I'll do the rest of these offline. Now, I was running level 100 gear that I had crafted for myself, but I've essentially stopped crafting. The focus seems to be far more on motes of enchantment now, and just as an example, when I actually get into Mordor, the coffers of Traveller's Armour, heavy, allows you to choose what you want. Now, as you might notice from level 106, these have already got the light of Elendil on them. So you'd be pretty hard pressed going anywhere other than these to pick up. There's the offensive ones, aggressive ones, and there's the defensive versions of all of this in these. I'm not going to do it quite. Oh, actually, I'll probably do the chest plate because that was the most obvious. So it gives me an extra 6,000 armor just on picking it. And it's got 8 Light of Erendil. That's going to get me through the beginning area of Mordor. And okay, I can do that for the others. So I've picked up 7 of them, 1 for each one of them. As I level up, I'll start replacing more of them as I need them. There's also the jewelry versions of everything, both an aggressive and a defensive version of the jewelry. As I said, as I need them, I'll go through them. Some of them really justified in changing them already, but I won't do that quite yet. See what I need when I get into Mordor. And the weapon, which, while I've got the two-handed axe, I do actually still need a weapon. So I'm going to go for the great bow, because there is no crossbow in this, which I would have liked. The crossbow gives auto attacks tougher to block, but that will do. Extra finesse and critical rating right from the start, and an extra 50% damage with extra finesse and critical. Now I'm just getting the purple versions of these rather than the teal versions, because they're 600 motes of enchantment each, which is not too bad. I can completely configure, I completely outfit this champion as needed, going through the PvE, going through the environment, and as I level, these will only get stronger. The items will, the armor and the jewelry and the weapons would only get stronger. So crafting at this level, while crafting for level 100 used to be almost a must-do, these are now more or less becoming outmoded by the motes of enchantment versions of everything from doing missions, and that looks like it's going to be the way that things go in the future. So now I've updated, double the DPS, I've got a huge increase in, tripled my Raging Blade increase, so something like Blade Wall now does 34 to 55,000. Going back to the old version of it, the previous version before I did the upgrade, taking those out. Slotting those in, that did up to 11 to 18,000. So it's really not comparable. 35 to 56,000. So it's time for the change. As I said, better armor as I go into Mordor, as needed, will get me the armor basically for the defense against attacks, but other than that I should be sitting fairly pretty. Okay, thank you everyone for watching, and as I said, I'll keep adding the runes of enchantment in. You can run, the only real thing that needs to be replaced is the ancient scripts. At level 112, if I haven't used these, I can go into Mordor and get the level 112 items, equipment that you can barter for, again for motes of enchantment, but that's the intention. So this is the way that the character looks like it's going to go for the next 10 levels, 12 levels, and then I'll reforge the tracery at either at 116 or at 121. Okay, thanks everyone for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.